Today, something really big happened in the Middle East. Hamas announces its acceptance of a ceasefire in Gaza. However, tensions remain high as Israel launches a strike in Rafah despite the ceasefire agreement. Exactly what happened? Let's dive into the details. Hamas agreed to a ceasefire proposal on May 6th, put forward by Egypt and Qatar. But Israel rejected the deal and they said that it didn't meet its key requirements, which included 3 phases: the withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza, allowing displaced Palestinians to go back home, and the exchange of Israeli captives and Palestinian prisoners. Despite this, Israel continued its military actions in Rafah. Nevertheless, Israel stated that it would keep negotiating. Well, diplomatic talks and military tensions gave a little hope for the stopping of a 7-month-long fighting in Gaza. But this hope is shaky. There is a big risk of a big Israeli attack on Rafah, something that United States doesn't want. Aid groups say that this attack would be really big for 1.4 million Palestinians living there. Hamas agreed to a ceasefire deal suddenly, just a few hours after Israel told about 1 lakh Palestinians to leave their homes in eastern neighborhood of Rafah. Well, this warning showed that Israel might be getting ready to invade. Now the big question is, what is the deal that Hamas says it agreed to? So let me explain it to you in simple terms. The agreement has 3 phases which lasting 6 weeks each. In the first phase, the fighting between Hamas and Israel would stop for a while. Israeli troops would move away from the crowded areas in Gaza and towards the border with Israel. Also, the Israeli planes and drones wouldn't fly over Gaza for 10 hours a day and for 12 hours a day when captives are released. Hamas plans to release 33 captives in the first phase. These captives can be alive or deceased. They will prioritize women, people more than 50, the sick and the non-soldiers under 19 years old. If Israel releases a civilian captive is alive, Hamas will release 30 Palestinians. For every female soldier Hamas releases, Israel will release 50 Palestinians. When Israel forces move out, Palestinian civilians who had to leave their homes in Gaza can start going back. But it will happen slowly as Hamas releases captives. Also, the deal says that rebuilding Gaza and sending aids must start. Now in the second phase, all fighting would stop for good and Israeli troops would leave Gaza completely. There would also be another swap of prisoners, and this time all remaining Israeli men and even soldiers held by Gaza would be traded for a certain number of Palestinian prisoners, though the exact number is still unknown. Now comes the third phase, when both sides would exchange the bodies of captives and the prisoners that they held. For rebuilding, there would be a planning lasting 3 to 5 years to fix up the Gaza. And most importantly, the Israeli blockade of Gaza would stop. Meanwhile, Israel told Palestinians in eastern Rafah to leave because it was getting ready for a military operation in southern Gaza. Even though many countries didn't agree to this, Israel's action suggested that they didn't believe in a deal was likely. What happened next in this war, only time will tell. But till then, do follow India.com's international affairs for further update.